so many people joining us. I'm so happy. Right. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us this evening. I'll introduce myself. My name is Bridget Schrader, and I am the head of partnerships and career support here at 4Geeks Academy. I'm very, very proud of all of the students that are going to be graduating tonight, especially during this difficult time. I really appreciate everyone being here. The time and effort that it took these students to actually complete this project during this time is really, really awesome. I really give them a lot of props for that. And also for anyone joining us this evening, thank you so much. I'll actually go ahead and talk a little bit about what GeekTalk is. For some of those who don't know, GeekTalk is basically our students' pitch day. It's a chance for them to show their projects off and the skills that they've learned at the Academy to their friends, their family members, and anyone in the audience who's joining us this evening. It's their graduation night. So we're going to go ahead and move along here, and I'm going to give you guys, for some of the people that are joining us this evening, especially a little bit of information about the Academy, who we are, and how we started, all right? So just bear with me 1 second. All right, everyone, like I said before, thank you so much for coming to the Geek Talk. Like I said, this is our chance to really, for our students to really show their projects off, show the talents that they have built here at the school. I wanted to talk about a little bit of Geeks is how we did. Our first program was launched in 2016 at the Miami-Dade College. We have over 6 campuses now, including one in Madrid, Chile, Caracas, and as well as the 2 downtown locations that we have in Miami, as well as the MDC College. We have 6 campuses and 10 ongoing programs. 4Geeks is licensed by the Florida Department of Education. And this little guy you see in the middle here, his name is Rigoberto, and he's actually our Academy mascot. So why coding? 90% of total workforce 90% of the total workforce need digital skills, and coding has become a must. 55K of the average salary after graduating from a coding boot camp is the average salary that most people will get once they complete coding boot camps and once they go through a software development camp such as this one. We have over 25 to 30,000 open positions. One thing that I did want to mention is that looking at the job market outgrowth, especially with the coronavirus ongoing now, we're looking at a huge opening for tons of remote positions and jobs. There's actually a lot of positions opening in the future for people who are interested in joining software development and want to become a coder. This is kind of like the perfect opportunity. There's going to be a lot more companies investing a lot more of their budget into remote work as well as into software development because of the coronavirus. 500K open positions are currently available in the U.S., and that number will probably continue to grow. By 2026, a lot of companies are expecting to put most of their budget into technology and data, especially into growing their tech side and hiring coders. There's tons of companies that have recently merged in the South Florida area, and especially in South Florida because Miami, as mentioned before, is actually the new Silicon Valley. So there are a lot of companies literally trying to grab the attention of a lot of people down there. And 8 out of the 25 most demanded skills are related to coding. So believe it or not, so many people in the industry, regardless if it's just software development, even regular companies are need coders to build websites, do product management, do quality assurance testing like RBI does. Just to give you guys an example, for those of you who don't know, RBI is the company that owns Tim Hortons and Burger King, and they use a lot of coders to do a lot of their quality testing. Here are some facts about us as an academy. Just one thing that we've noticed when students come in is that they actually get about a 20% increase after attending 4Geeks, especially because of the salary increase that most software development jobs get, as well as coding jobs get. We have over 600 plus graduates attending that have attended the academy, with more graduating today. We have a 91% placement ratio in the field, and we have many financial options available, including ISA. And we also offer loans as well. Those are just some of the things that for the audience that's joining for you to know about the academy as well. And here are our partners. Here are some of the partners that we have listed here, but most recently we actually ended a couple of new ones, including Synergy, Benjamin Douglas, and Blockchain as a partner. The Career Skills Fund and K-Force has been a long-time partner with us as well. We do a lot of things with the Miami downtown as partnerships that we have built up with these community partnerships that are revolved around the city of Miami actually give us a lot of footing within giving students opportunities. One of the nicest things that we've actually did with the Miami Downtown Authority, for example, was the executive evenings that they were going to host another one this month, but unfortunately we were unable to due to the coronavirus. We also do a lot of, we also have gotten a lot of recruitment through through some of these companies that are mentioned through here. The most important thing too that a lot of people I want to take away from this is that coding is life changing. So this is why we try to encourage people to join and see the kind of change that you can make in your life, including finding a new career, working in a different environment, and learning something completely new and different. So I wanted to introduce you guys to this evening's group of panelists that we have as well. I'm sorry. We actually have tonight a group of panelists. We're going to be doing a moderated Q&A that will be moderated by me. The first person that's going to be joining us is Grecy. I think she's already with us. Guensy, can you say hi?
Hi, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Perfect. So Guensy, she's actually a former student from the academy as well. We also have JB joining us this evening too. He is from EnhanceIT. He's also a former academy student. JB, are you here with us? He might be entering in a little bit, so I apologize for that. As well as Jesus Diaz from Cloud 39, who's a Google partner. Oh, you are? Perfect. I couldn't hear you. I apologize for that. And Jesus Diaz from Cloud 39.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I also wanted to just great. Sorry, Jesus. I wasn't sure if you were going to be right here right now, or if it was going to be in a bit. All good. So I also wanted to kind of tell you guys about the presentations that will be going on, including the ones that you see here. These are all from our students, including Pet Finders, 4Games, Check Pro, and Liberty Mall. Those are the 4 presentations that will be featured this evening. So I will go ahead and move this event on over to the group of panelists we have this evening, and we're going to go ahead and start with the Q&A panel. So just bear with me for just 1 second, okay? All right, so the first group of questions that I have for this evening are going to be directed to Guensy and JD. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing good, and yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you guys is, and this is just because of the current situation that we're all in right now.
Recording has started.
What do you guys expect from the work field due to coronavirus?
So I'll start.
Sorry,
go ahead. So I'll start. So a lot of companies are having hiring freezes at the moment. But I'm pretty optimistic. I think it's very short term. I think in general, companies are going to bounce back, especially once we get back to our new normal. So there's going to be a lot of growth. I think now's a great time to really sharpen your coding skills because, we're kind of in a freeze. But I also think what's good about this time too is that a lot of people are being forced to work remote, which is going to open up a lot more remote opportunities, which gives you, location independent opportunities, which is great for our being in South Florida.
And I would agree with what Guensy says. A lot of companies are now looking, well, at least even if it's not fully remote, you'd be starting remote and then potentially migrate to the location where the company is. So that is definitely opening up a lot of opportunity with people with location restriction in terms of finding positions. But nonetheless, there's still a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of companies have frozen hiring, but a lot of companies are still hiring. And actually some companies, particularly in the medical field, have increased the number of hiring because they want to be able to process all the data they've gathered based on the coronavirus across the globe.
Okay, awesome. As former students yourselves, what tips could you give students that are looking to be placed right now? I'll go ahead and throw this one to you first, JD.
Okay. So the thing that we look for the most is coding skills. Particularly since a lot of time the programming language that you may know may not be the one you end up working with, but having that as a base is definitely good. So we definitely want to have people with strong coding skills.
So I would say, of course, coding skills, like that's the base. But two things that really helped me when I was looking for positions and what I think kind of helped me get my current role is whenever I would apply to something, I would find someone who works at that company on LinkedIn and I would kind of reach out to them. If they were higher up, I would say like, hey, I just want to let you know that I applied to this and I'm actually very interested in your company and I like the way that you do X, Y, and Z. If it was someone that would be more on the peer level, then I would just talk to them and ask them how they like the position. Because even at times I would ask someone how they liked working there, and some people would be very honest and be like, "Don't apply here unless it's your last resort," you know. So that I took that to heart. So I think that's really useful. Like LinkedIn is free. It's really good to like get out there and see. Like maybe you think a company you want to work for isn't a company you want to work for. So use LinkedIn, sharpen your coding skills. And then also another tip is to apply to things when you're first graduating, try to apply to things that you don't necessarily want first so that you can kind of work out the kinks. Because that happened to me. I applied to a job that I really wanted in the beginning, but I was not ready. So definitely like, apply to little things that you don't want first and then you work out the kinks, you learn how to do the coding tests, you learn how to do interviews. And then, yeah. So those are my tips.
And this is kind of the next question that I have for you guys, too, and this is kind of reverting back to the coronavirus situation in the work field. Do you guys find that there's going to be a big boom in the industry due to this? And I'll go with you, JD, first.
Yes, I definitely see a lot of the hiring that had been frozen because of the coronavirus is going to open up. So afterwards, so I was looking at June, July, August time. There's going to be a large increase in number of hiring. So definitely look forward to those. And actually, some companies are even starting the process now in order to be ready for when that time comes in June, July, later fall semester.
Yeah, I agree. I always think that where one industry loses things, another industry finds it. So I think even in certain areas, maybe there's less hiring. There's definitely going to be more of a need for certain things. People are scrambling to try to, put up apps and get things together specifically for the response to whatever the effects of coronavirus were. So there's definitely opportunities there.
What, as former students too, what are the skills that you find are most asked for in the market or most demanded for? Would you guys say it's soft skills or would you say it's hard skills or both?
Both, definitely. More on the hard skills, particularly since if you can do the job, and then even if you may not be able to talk about it, if you can do it, then they can just let you be and get the work done by yourself. And then later on, you can definitely go back to it. However, soft skills is also very important because essentially it's not even soft skills as much as common sense. As in, if you need something in order to get your job done, just be able to say, "Hey, I need this access." So it's not even soft skills. Soft skills is more in terms of going into the interviews and being able to crush it. Soft skills definitely help towards that end. But once you get on the project, once you get on the position, in order to build your skills, you definitely need the hard skills.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit of both, but I think hard skills definitely come before soft skills. But what I'm noticing in our industry, in tech in general, is that people with soft skills tend to advance in terms of managing because they have more, being able to manage people and things like that. And so if you're looking for roles that are maybe more tech adjacent, or maybe you're looking to advance into a more social position, then soft skills are definitely handy. And some people do like to have someone that can communicate well, with the group, because you tend to stand out with more soft skills, but you need to know how to code.
Okay. And also, as former students as well, could you guys give me a little bit about what your terms and responsibilities are for your job, or amount of work? What is a typical day for you guys out in the work field for software development?
You can take that one, Guensy.
Sure. So this is my second job after graduating. My first job, I worked completely remotely. And I was a front-end web developer for a startup company. So every morning would start with a stand-up meeting where we would talk about what we were working on, what we had finished, and basically like if we have any blockers, anything stopping us from completing our tasks. So after the stand-up meeting, we would get to work. It would just be pretty much coding, asking questions. The nice thing about 4Geeks is I would reach out to Alejandro a lot and say, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know, and my instructor Alejandro at the time would help me. So it's just a lot of problem solving, a lot of, pulling my hair out. But then little by little, the less I needed to ask less questions. So my current role now, I'm not actively coding. I'm doing third-party risk. So I had a legal background before going to 4Geeks. And so I was able to kind of combine that with the tech knowledge that I was able to get at 4Geeks and in my first role. And so now I'm doing like privacy, risk, and compliance, making sure our data is basically secure for our customers at Ultimate Software. So my day is a lot less structured than it was when I was a web developer. So it kind of just depends. I go into the office. We're allowed to work from home 2 days a week, but I go into the office and maybe I have meetings on the calendar. Usually there are, because it's a big corporation, so there's a lot of meetings. And I just do a lot of reading. I do recommendations to the rest of the business. So I mostly work with third parties. So when other parts of the business wants to use a third party, they come to us to make sure that they're safe, make sure that data is encrypted, things like that. So I do a lot of reading to make sure, and learning about different companies to make sure that they keep our data safe. So it's meetings, talking, stuff like that.
All right.
What about you,
My day-to-day job involves me waking up and going back to bed. Okay. So in my previous position at Discovery, I was mostly programming, as in I would wake up, go to the office, and about 80% of my day would involve figuring some type of problem. We had multiple projects that we were working on, so I was working on about three projects at a time. So as soon as a project would go into testing phase, I would be either working on a different one or set up the pipeline for another one, or working on a previous one. So my day was essentially just programming the whole day. But now I'm at a managerial role. Excuse me. So my day involved mostly meetings, meetings about meetings, and then programming as well, because that's what I like to do. And then also am mentoring and training a lot of new guys, and right now I have 5 engineers that I'm currently working with. And then so those are my day-to-day works look like. Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering the questions. I'm going to go ahead and move the questions on over to Jesus. Hi, Jesus. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I was on muted, so I didn't interrupt anyone. My 4-year-old kid, my daughter might come in anytime, so be prepared.
Oh,
She's
you're
running
fine.
around the house.
You're fine. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Absolutely,
I'll go ahead
my pleasure.
And start with the first question. Due to COVID-19, and this is due to the coronavirus situation, a lot more companies will be shifting into remote work. Have you worked from home before, and does it surprise you how many will be doing it for the first time?
So let me flip the question. I'm not surprised about how many companies are moving to a remote first culture. I think our profession it's one of the most I would say remote friendly. Face-to-face communication, it's priceless, and an email doesn't convey a lot of most of the times like good content or feelings, but there's a lot that you can accomplish nowadays with just what we're doing right now, right? A conference meeting and sharing screen and Slack and all the things. So I'm not surprised a lot of companies were able to transition from a full on-site to a full remote way of operating. So I think we are in the right spot as developers and IT resources. I have my fair share of working remotely right now. I'm 3 weeks 3 weeks working remotely for my current company, and I have to say I've done it in the past when I was part of other organizations. It's the trickiest thing is to find motivation in what you do every day. If you're not motivated, if you don't like what you do, if you don't have passion, then it's going to be really hard just to put up the discipline and wake up every day and sit up on your computer and put some good productivity there. So my best advice is find passion in what you do. It's in general, I think it's a good advice for anyone. You should enjoy what you do. Ultimately, you spend most of your life working 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day or whatever. It's most of the time you're awake. So find the passion, and then if you enjoy what you do, it doesn't really matter if it's remote or on site. Actually, I when you were remote, you're easily gaining like an hour and a half or 2 hours of your day back. So don't feel the pressure that you have to put those 2 hours back in working. Just do something. Exercise, go to your backyard, spend more time with your kids, read a book. It's going to be more productive. One thing that you're going to find in coding is that necessarily time doesn't translate in productivity. You can be in the zone for 2 hours and put up more productivity that if you are 2 days just like dragging yourself on top of the keyboard. So find your inspiration, and if you have that, then it doesn't really matter.
Thank you. I know I asked this question to JD and Guensy earlier, but what are some tips you can also give to coders who are looking to get placed in the software development?
Okay, so the first tip, it's I definitely you have to have the knowledge. You have to know how to code, but I think I can't emphasize enough how important soft skills are. And soft skills, being able to interview with a team and, taking the pulse of the team, understanding, what are the team's pain points, how can you integrate with the team, what are kind of like the leaders, the leaders based on title and seniority, but also the leaders based on the dynamic of the team, and making sure that you understand the company culture. That's priceless. And I've been on the hiring side a number of times. I would say, you have a good candidate. It shows that it has the right technical skills, but then you go for, is this candidate going to be a good fit for the culture? Is this candidate motivated? And even if there's a gap on the skills, will he able to put kind of like the extra effort and the dedication on close this gap? Because it's all boils down to attitude. If you have the right attitude, then I would take a resource with the right attitude and the can-do mindset than one that is a genius, but it's hard to interact with, or it's hard to place in a team. And probably you've heard this before. Coding is a team sport. I don't think at this point, unless you're doing like a very simple mobile application or website, you rely on your DevOps team. You rely on your, QA, your QA resources. You rely on, the database team. You rely on a UI if you're on the back end. So again, the ability to collaborate on a team, and mostly if you're remote, it becomes more and more important. So tips, don't sell yourself short. Just be upfront. If you don't know something, just, preface it. Hey, I haven't got a lot of experience with this particular technology, but I'm willing to, put my best foot forward and, learn it and make the extra effort. So again, attitude defeats, knowledge oftentimes. It's all about being able to sell. I don't know, technology people, they don't like selling, but ultimately when you go to an interview, you're selling yourself. So better do a good job.
Those are some really, really great tips. This is also something I asked. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then one more thing. Interviews, it's a learning skill. So if you, and I think I'm going to go here with some of the other panelists, if you go to your dream job and that's your first interview, chances are you're going to fail because you're going to be nervous. You're not going to know how to defend yourself. So even if you don't like one position, if you get the opportunity to interview for that position, go for it. Go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? If they take you in and you don't want it, you just walk away. So again, you will gain confidence, you will get experience, and you'll get the opportunity to, dress up nicely and talk to other people. So, go for it.
As someone who's been working in the software development industry for quite some time now, what could you say are some of your favorite aspects about working in it?
Oh, I love the opportunities, the creativity. I think, and it goes with the jobs. Oftentimes, when you spend a lot of years in one company, you risk getting too comfortable with one technology or one product. But because I've been doing so long, services and consulting, every single new opportunity, it presents itself, a big challenge. It's either, new technology or a new industry or a completely different, business rules. So that's what I enjoy most about, being a coder. Is about, productivity, creativity, about building things. That's fascinating. Just being able to, with very, very few resources, because ultimately you only need a computer, you can build amazing things. So that's kind of like what keeps me going back and back to coding and technology.
And I have one last question for you. When it comes to recruiting, what are some of the skills that you look for in young developers?
I think I cover a little bit about that. I mean, it's attitude, because you're never gonna learn everything that you need to do your job. I think the moment you realize that, this is it, I know everything I ever need to know, that's the moment you start actually losing value as a developer. So this mindset of always learning, always growing, always, looking for new challenges, that's what defines for me a good developer. So that's that hunger, that spirit of, again, this is not an 8-hour a day work. This is something that should keep you up at night and, reviewing documents and watching YouTube channels for learning new things. If this is not your passion, I think you're in the wrong career.
Thank you so much, Jesus.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
I'd like to go ahead and thank our panelists again for joining us this evening. I'm not 100% sure if they'll be joining us until the end. I know you guys have other things to do, but if they are, I will go ahead and also send the students your guys' contact information, as well as yours, Jesus. I think Alejandro might have already sent it in the chat. I haven't reviewed it. But as well as you guys would like to ask them any questions after the event is over, you guys are more than welcome to. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Yep,
thank
thank
you, guys.
All right. And now we're just going to go ahead and start with our first final project this evening, which is going to be with Kevin Soria and Christina Chiticari from our full-time cohort.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for checking us out. Thank you for our panelists. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Alejandro, Marcelo, and everyone else at 4Geeks that I'm not mentioning. You guys are very, very important. Thank you. This has been a very, very challenging but exciting journey. And over the last 3 months, we've learned so much, and we've grown so much as not just as coders, but as people, and it's really exciting to be able to present our project, so thank you. And so I'm just going to go ahead and take over really quick. Just one moment. So here we go. This is our project that I did with Christina. It's called Pet Finders. And so what is Pet Finders? Pretty much Pet Finders is a online platform dedicating for pet owners to reconnect with their pets who are potentially lost, or people who have opportunities to find lost pets out in the street or somewhere. And this is a great place to sort of centralize not just an alert platform, but sort of a community and people helping each other out find their pets or give a centralized place where myself, I'm a pet owner, and I'm sure the majority of us are, and the majority of us not consider pets as not just animals, but they're pretty much members of our family. And pretty much we know how dogs and cats could be. They love to get lost. They love, and I have a personal story where I've lost a cat before, where she loved to hang out outside in the backyard. But if I had someone tell me, "Hey, your cat's outside," since my neighborhood knows me. I mean, not that you know that, but in this type of in this situation. If someone had told me that, hey, they might have seen my pet out of place, maybe one day I would have found her again. And I'm sure most of us, if not going through it, have gone through the experience, but most of us know someone who's gone through that experience, and we know how distressful it could be. So this is a platform so we can kind of just help make life with pets just a little bit more easy. So that's my background with the app. Christina, would you like to go ahead and share your take on this?
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you for your story. I'm personally a pet lover, so I can't imagine my life without them. So let me share my screen.
Sure.
All right, do you guys see my screen? Yeah, fine.
Yes.
So our application starts with the landing page. You can see here some navigations, our carousel right here. There is like some cards with hover over effects just for fun. And here we go, our footer with our contact us form. Let's go and see what our user can do. So of course you can register the user. Once everything is filled in, we're sending all this information to our database that we've created with Kevin. However, I already have one user registered. I'm not going to spend time on it. So we're going to go ahead and log in. Here we go. Once we're logged in, we're going straight to our dashboard, which is available just for logged in users. Here we have our profile information that we're retrieving for our database as well. Here we have our pets. You can remove a pet like that, or you can add a new pet. We're gonna go and get it. Let's go, and we are uploading the photo right here. We had to connect the third-party API called Cloudinary for that. And let's go and create a new pet. That's gonna be our favorite Boo Boo. And some description here that user can put. And the gender, that's gonna be male, 80 years old, whatever. We'll color black. Once we submit the button, our animal appears on our dashboard. It's right here. We have all information that we just filled in. So also we can alert this pet as the lost one. Let's go and do that. And once we hit the send alert, it's gonna be posted right here in our feed which my partner Kevin was working on it. Kevin, do you want to take over my screen and explain a little bit more about that?
Of course. Let me just give me one second.
Let me stop sharing.
Perfect. So this is our feed, and pretty much the idea behind this is sort of think about a neighborhood ring system where neighbors could go ahead and let each other know about suspicious activity or any kind of activity that one should know about, mixed in with sort of a live Facebook or Instagram feed where people could go ahead and actively check out certain animals that have strayed away from their homes, or if a certain pet owner wants to let the community know that, hey, you know, they unfortunately their dog's not where they're supposed to be, or their cat kind of strayed away as well. And so the point of the just to recap, the point of the dashboard is, of course, is to as a pet owner's perspective, you want to go ahead and register your pets through there, so it's easier in case in the event that they get lost, where you have all your contact information. So someone who's a guest and doesn't have an account, who's not a pet owner, could go ahead and go to this website and alert them of a lead. Hey, I might have seen your dog, or I might have seen your cat. And so hypothetically, in this situation, let's say I am not a pet owner and I just see a dog that's probably strayed. So I go ahead and go to this website, and hopefully we get to the point that we're able to scale this where the pets alert out. So I'm going to go ahead and contact this whoever made the alert. I'll let them alert of a lead. And me, as someone who doesn't have to be registered, as someone who's just strolled onto this website for the very first time, I go ahead and put my email, I put my phone number, I'm like, oh, it's a cat. And within a couple of seconds, we have, oh, look, they found our pet right there. So it sends out a Twilio app. So pretty much a Twilio is a third-party API that goes ahead and works with a platform to allow to send text messages, and so we're able to utilize that to our advantage. And that's the idea behind the feed, to pretty much give not live updates, but at least current updates, for certain local alerts. Right now, fortunately, we don't have it where we can sort it out locally. Right now, we see any alert anywhere, it doesn't matter, but we will go ahead and continue this to not only show the local alerts, but also one day hopefully to apply some kind of GPS technology with either the use of an Arduino or Raspberry Pi. That's definitely in our sights to go ahead and implement that. So these Twilio notifications could be sent automatically once the pet has gone out to a certain range. We're either attaching some kind of GPS tracker on their collar, or harnessed. And so pretty much that's the big rundown of the app. We also indicated and put a blog where we can go ahead and implement links to articles, pet caretaking advice, quick home veterinarian advice, or information to local animal shelters, and simply generally articles referring to pets in general, and they're pretty much their huge role that they play in our lives. And pretty much that's pretty much what I have to say for now without straying too long. Christine, do you want to put in some final words?
No, thank you. That's it. Do you guys have any questions? All right.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
I do. So I have multiple questions, but due to time constraint, I'm going to keep it minimal. How challenging was working with the back end and the front end?
I would definitely say it was quite challenging. It was quite challenging, at least from my perspective, because not just learning how to finally implement everything we've learned for the past 3 months to a certain project, but pretty much like I might have stated before, pretty much coming up with a minimal viable product and not including too much. And that's a real life scenario that most software companies do. we had the responsibility of replicating that situation. And so we didn't want to include too much. And it was very easy. It was a slippery slope. Oh, okay. I want to implement a feed. I also want to implement a social media platform, a GPS tracker. And so it opened, so many ideas started opening up at the fact that we couldn't do them all for this product at this current time. And it was challenging in terms of especially implementing a third-party API and leaving room for eventually further advancements. But in terms of the front end and the back end collaborating both, there wasn't too much of an issue, thankfully. But just overall, the overall perspective of the possibilities where this app could go was quite challenging for me. Christina, do you want to share some insight on your opinion?
Back end was easier, for sure. I agree with you, Kevin. Thank you. But the back end was easier for 100% for me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My recommendation is to, I think Jesus was mentioning it before, is to, passion definitely drives you through a lot, whether it's passion about coding or passion to change your life or passion to pick up a new skill for your current job or to impress your family or your friends. It doesn't really matter. Definitely that really propels you to pretty much motivate yourself to stay up late coding and just to learn so much into it. And really my recommendation is to see the possibilities of what you can do through this. And that really, really helped me out, whether it's to get a better job or to create a certain software that I could one day implement for myself or my family or my friends. And definitely my best recommendation is to definitely deep dive into it. Definitely, at the end of the day, time flies. And me and Christina and the following two groups, we've taken the full time, so we definitely had the opportunity to immerse ourselves in this. And we know that the part-time cohort doesn't have that same, for lack of a better word, exclusivity to pretty much dedicate their entire life because they have their job and their family. But definitely, whenever you have the chance, just learn about this, practice coding, practice. And definitely, time flies, and before you know it, you're going to be able to. At first, when I first started, code was just a foreign language. And now I see code and I see what's happening. And so just to see your improvement little by little is super exciting. And I look forward to everybody else, whether if it's the upcoming cohorts or the current cohorts, I look forward to them getting the same excitement from it, from not just how far you can progress, but also what you can do and the possibilities with coding.
Perfect. All right. Does anyone else have any questions or? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Do.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
just
fine. Go
wanted
ahead.
to get your personal insight on graduating in this crazy momentum that we're living, right? You have been dealing with a class that was perfectly and smoothly happening through the in-person sessions, and then suddenly switch without stopping to the online sessions. On a personal level, not just because of the COVID and the coronavirus thing, what does it mean for you to graduate as a software developer now?
To be honest, I feel, Kristen, you want to go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
For me to not, what does it pretty much right now I feel like I'm leaving with a certain set of skills that are more necessary more now than ever. And I feel in a sense, in a weird, really weird way, lucky. Especially with more and more, as we talked about before, with more and more companies working remotely, I feel like I have the set of skills that now that I still have the same rate of employment than I did a year ago. It's, if not more so. And definitely I feel like I have a subset of of skills that aren't just unique but in demand and completely necessary. And even if it's not just to get a job from it, it's also to overall improves your well-being of, like I said, the possibilities of what you're able to do, whether it's create a website for yourself or your family, or to create a game for yourself, or it doesn't have to be employment related. And so it actually feels really exciting, and it means that you're leaving with a subset of skills that are necessary more than ever. Christina, what's your opinion on it?
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree with Kevin. Now I feel like our industry is going to increase, and it wasn't that challenging actually to get the classes online. Everybody's so attentive, and if you need to reach someone, they gonna reach you in a few. So for me, I'm excited too.
Yeah, and
You
to
just gotta
piggyback on
push
that.
yourself, right?
Yes, definitely. And to kind of piggyback off of that, definitely with now not time to code, not a better, no one's going to go ahead and and invite you out, on any day of the week now. So it's, to eliminate distractions, and you can only watch so much TV. There's not a better time to either pick up a new skill. And that's something that I'm definitely advocating, not just to everyone here who's listening, but also everyone in my social life and my personal life as well. Because now that we're all in this together, we're all, closed in at home. It's a really productive time to pick up coding, and whether if it's to learn from online databases or join an online coding boot camp, or to learn through YouTube videos, it's a great time.
Awesome. Thank you guys. All right,
Thank you.
we're going to
Hey,
go ahead and move on to our next project, which is good.
I just want to mention one quick thing about Kevin and Christina. Just to say, in the chat, somebody was asking how long did it take them to build this project, and somebody mentioned a couple of weeks. But I will say there was definitely more than 2 weeks that they put in. And I just want to also say they were absolutely amazing in terms of their integrity and making sure they were there on time. They put in so much work beyond those 2 weeks that's almost like a humble brag for them to say that. So I just want to say I'm extremely proud of you guys, and it's been honestly an absolute honor to have you as part of 4Geeks, and we look forward to seeing what you do in the future. So thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kobe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a digital round of
You guys are
applause.
doing a
I
good
know
job.
everybody's got their mics muted, but phenomenal work. You guys kicked ass, and couldn't ask for any better students. So thank you.
Thank you
So
Kobe.
much. We appreciate it.
And thank you to
Awesome.
everyone for taking the time. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next project, which is going to be by Jason Martinez and Pedro Hernandez, and their project is called 4Games. I'll go ahead and I'll let them take over.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for having us. My name is Pedro. I built this project along with Jason. So, like a quick introduction, I would say Jason is gonna be doing most of the introduction, but I just want to say a few things. So, basically, what I initially was trying to accomplish is when we started doing this project, we didn't even know what to do. Actually, we went into it, and initially my mindset was go ahead and do everything that I think is difficult for you. So whatever it's hard for you, go ahead and do it and see if you can. So that's basically what I was trying to accomplish. So let me go ahead and share my screen. That way you can start taking a look at the project. So I'm not gonna. Can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
So I'm not gonna be going to every single detail, because otherwise I'll talk about the 3 pages that I wrote. So what I'm gonna do is as I explain that a little bit, I'll if I see something that I call my attention, I'll talk about it. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and feel free to ask questions. So Jason is gonna be doing the introduction, and I'll take over in a few minutes.
All right. Hello. So this is our project that we've been working on for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's called 4Games in honor of 4Geeks. And it started off as kind of just something that you click around to different games and you could talk about them. But every time we added one thing, we started adding more stuff. And it turned into a whole like 380,000 game database where you could get basically all the information on games and also talk about them and save them to your profile. But as you see here, here's the landing page where you have the sign up and just a random assortment of games to begin with. If you hover over them, you could see a little preview of a video of the game. And if you hover over the little information at the top left, it'll show you just a little bit of the information on it. Then if you actually click on one of the games, you'll get a YouTube video coming in with a small preview of it and all the information on it, the release date, a small description, the rating, the website. Up there, you can also search for anything you want. Like I said, it has over 380,000 games. So pretty much any game you could think of, you search for it there. It'll give you a recommended search at the bottom. And if you click on one of them, it'll send you to the information page also. Then, under the actual video of the game, you can actually discuss the game. We use the API called Discus, and basically it creates a small thread where you could type whatever you want, and people can reply to you, or they can start a new one. As you'll see there, you post it, and anyone could see what you wrote on it for that specific game. So under that video also, you'll see how Pedro actually linked into a YouTube API, where if he wants to explain it, because I'm not really sure how he did that.
Definitely, it's very simple. The only thing that I did over here was actually creating with the Google platform. I actually created a link through the API of YouTube just to get information, and all I did is basically send a query for specific name, going through some filters and bringing back the data back. So basically, what I'm doing is bringing back the most accurate, I'm gonna put it that way, game video that it's to that game. Most of the time, it will bring back the actual trailer, which is the goal that I was trying to accomplish in the beginning. So in here we actually, this is just the game, the video that we show on the front. We're just adding a little controls right here in case you want to hear the audio or playing on a big screen if you like it. For the most part, this is just basic information about the game itself. You got the release date and the original web page if you want to get to it, and of course a link to the Facebook page that is related to that specific game, which it doesn't have one. French. What's going on? No, I'm not logged into Facebook, so sorry. But for the most part, that's it. The most on regards to this page, everything was kind of exciting to do. Creating different threads for the comments was kind of an exciting thing to do. I spent probably a few hours on this, just trying to make sure that each single Discuss version had a single thread for itself. The Google API was something simple. I imagine most of you will be able to accomplish that just going through the Google information. To be honest, most of the things, they're just really details that we were trying to accomplish and get done. Just trying to come up with, a whole package that would allow you to search and at the same time try to keep it simple enough that you don't have to go crazy looking for things. So if you want to look for a specific game, you just go out and just read information, watch the trailer if you want to, and if somebody wants to talk about the game, they can go ahead and do it. So as a user, so when we started discussing this game, like Jason mentioned before, I started noticing that at least for me, which I like to play games, I wasn't approaching something that I like. I like to also see what's on a special on the stores about these games. So we actually added another feature which is available to users as signing. So if you sign in as a user, and of course the API that we created, it allows you authentication, and it has, and sadly I can't show you that part because I didn't finish that part, and I would love to show you that, but it actually have administration privilege, and it has just for regular users. But in this case, for a regular user, me, it would allow you to follow a specific game, and I'll show you what that does right now. So it would allow you to take it away or follow if you like. So if you like to follow a specific game, and I'm sorry about this is the only part that I didn't have time to accomplish, and this page I was working on today. But for the most part, this is something that I was trying to add to the page. So basically, it's everything that you follow, you can actually request data, and for 2 different stores on prices. Everything that is available on prices for these games. So basically, and the other thing that I was getting was a lot of data that was coming back to me with kind of what you see on a regular store. They try to say this is on discount for 50 cents, so this is for a personal use. I'm not trying to sell myself something. So basically what I did, I just filtered all the information. I only care about things that have more than $10 discount. So basically this is what I'm doing right here, since this is for personal use. I'm just all the data on a specific game, like for example this one right here, or we can go to another one. And this is something that I was working on today, so sorry for the way it looks. It's kind of, I tried to add the functionality on a way that you guys can see the point that I was trying to make. But for the most part, you get information from 2 different stores. You get information from Amazon and Steam on things that are available on those games. And the things that have more than $10 discount, I will wanted to bring it up. That way I make sure that I actually see it. But for the most part, this is basically it. This is what we did. We implemented probably 3 to 4 APIs, I believe so. We did a lot of management of states using React, if you guys are familiar with it. But the goal was to keep it simple and useful enough for anybody to use it.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it started off with just like looking up a game and being able to talk about it, and then it turned into this whole thing where you actually have a profile and you can save the games that are your favorites or games that you own, and you could actually go into there. And then Pedro came up with the idea for the whole Amazon and Steam, like linking to them, so you could actually see like the different discounts that they're currently doing. And yeah, it started off as one really simple idea, then it just kept going and going throughout the couple weeks that we did this. That's another thing up there. If you click on the controller, you can also put different genres to pop up, and it'll give you a random amount of games from that specific genre. In case you just want to look for a random game, it'll just pop up a couple.
Perfect. Does the audience have any questions for their project?
For your chat within the game, did you use Discus or what was that?
Discus. We wanted to implement it. Honestly, I wanted to implement it on the back end. I really wanted to do it because I thought it was a good challenge for me. But I was the time that we had didn't quite was enough. Like you guys see, there was a part that I wasn't able to finish. But honestly, once this is done, I will try to implement something like that on my own.
Yeah, at first we were gonna try to do it on our own, but Alejandro brought up the Discus API, and it was a lifesaver. Saved us so much time.
You guys did a really good job on your project, by the way.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome.
Yeah, super good job.
If nobody has any more, does somebody else have a question?
Yeah, I would like to ask you something. Do you think would be interesting for the discount for the user decide how? For example, now you have a discount of $10, but let's say that the user wants to something that's over $5 would be okay. So do you think this would be a nice functionality to add to this project?
Definitely, of course. The ideal will be that you can actually manage the filter outside. You don't actually have to do it within the code itself. And honestly, like I said, I would really love to have a little time to actually spend on this. And like you guys see, it takes a little time to load the data. This is something that I did today, and I didn't actually have time, which I wish I had, to come up with a better way to get the data and show it on a screen without having too much noise of loading and all that. But of course, the idea will be for a user to be able to manage whatever answers they want to get back.
So Pedro and Jason, I think your project's fantastic. I'm really glad that you could accomplish such a project. I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Thank you, guys.
To chime in and to add to what Joao was saying, phenomenal job. Again, this may have been 2 weeks that they were working on this, but it's certainly way more hours. And to be honest, this site gets me pretty hyped up. Just watching all the features, it's definitely gamer centric. And to also highlight what Jonathan mentioned in the comments, you guys really thought about what the user wants, and this is the most beautiful type of website for a gamer. So I sincerely hope that you continue building this out as you continue with your career. But phenomenal work, and I hope you guys are really proud of it. You guys went above and beyond with a lot of different applications as well. So thank you guys so much. Again, a pleasure to have you. Even so that the future students know, you have some amazing energy that goes into these projects. Things that I stood there with my jaw just like, what the hell is Pedro talking about? Because you can't stop somebody like him from continuing to explore and expand upon the just amazing concept that was already driven there. So thank you guys again. Amazing work. I hope you guys are super proud of this, and hope to see you in the flesh so we can celebrate within the next couple months. But really great job, and thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and move on to our part-time cohort now. And we're going to go ahead and start with Marco and Kevin's project. It's Liberty Market. So go ahead, guys. I'll give you guys the floor.
Hi, how's it going, guys? My name is Kevin. Marco's going to start talking very soon. Like Bridget said, our project is called Liberty Mall. I'm going to go ahead and show it for you guys right now. So let me just close this out and get some stuff out the way. All right, so this is Liberty Mall. It's just a simple shopping website here. This is the home page. We have a nav bar here, the search bar here, where you can search some items. We have featured products on here. We have a working subscription for your emails and some comment objections, and we have our footer here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and register a quick person here. I have it here. So this is just some of my personal things here. Some cool features we have here. If you forget one thing, it'll tell you, hey, you got to agree to this. Or if you missed the email, hey, you got to put this. So no cheating the system on this. So you can go ahead, you agree to the terms, you hit submit. Oh, I don't think the back end's working. Let me just refresh it. Hit submit here. Oh. Let me just refresh one more time. Oh, you know what? I actually have something with my own email already. There you go. Here. There you go. So that's another feature that we have working that I completely forgot about. So that's pretty neat. So you can also, this is a confirmation page here. You can log in here, or you can start shopping with this button right here. Or you can log in at the nav bar up there. So I'll log in with one that I had already made. So that'll be my full email here. And it'll take you right here. So you have your account page here. You can look at your account page. We have some fluff in here that will get working on a later version. And you can go here back to the home page, and I'll have Marco here show you guys how we got some of the search functionality working. Marco, are you on?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, let me stop sharing so you can go.
Okay, perfect. So we do the fetching here from the search bar, so you can fetch for everything from the Amazon, wherever you like. For example, Dora. Then because we use the.
Can see your screen, Marco.
Give me 1 second. Then the problem now. Now, everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Okay, perfect. So from the search bar, you can search for everything what you like from the Amazon, because they have like some delays because we're using a demo version of FBI API actually. So let me just show you. Yeah, they're gonna show you. We make the cards, every card, because using that demo version API, we have like some like fake pricing so far. So, but its functionality is there right now. So let me just show you. If you put something in a cart, automatically gonna update here. Then we're gonna lead you in a shopping cart. In a shopping cart, we have all the buttons for it's working, like decrement the items wherever you wanna buy. For example, the subtotal and total gonna change, of course. If you wanna, for example, our payment for idea was to do the payment because one store is gonna bring to PayPal for now, or of course you can debit card. I think we're gonna open it right now here. Also, you can delete just the one item if you like, or you can delete them all of them. Click. Also, what we like to like, we think how the people gonna use this website, but mostly today everything going through the mobile version. So we prepared the mobile version as well. In mobile version, everything it's similar. So the website is responsive on everything. But I want to go all the way down. For example, your account. They want to see everything's working. We can search for something, for example. Now it's popular. Right? We do all our websites. We use the React. That's what we need to mention. So everything's working so far normally. So we have idea to do the like this is like some demo version of our website. Mostly we're gonna do the upgrade all of this. This is gonna be like V1 version wherever. For other versions we need to, because our idea was to for example, everything. A lot of people from South America doesn't have like access to Amazon. So, for example, we can through our website to send them to like close them to everything from Amazon if they want to order something. That was the idea. So, any other feature what we're gonna add in our website is gonna be like order numbers, tracking numbers, shipping rate, or the price. What we're gonna charge for our service, like wish list and update of the profile as well. So it's some like feature what we're gonna working on for continue. I think that's it from me. I don't know if Kevin have something odd.
Yeah, just to touch a little bit more on what Marco was explaining about future versions of our project. Originally, our project was to grab Amazon's API and then be able to sell it at a flat shipping price to South American countries. But we wanted to do a very simple version, and then in later versions, just touch upon that. So that's our future of our project. Right now, we just wanted to get it functioning desktop and mobile, and just get it working from there. And that's it. Our Liberty Mall project. Thank you, guys.
Also, one more I need to add. It's gonna be everything on Spanish as well.
Oh yes, we can't sell to South America without the South American language.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have any questions, guys, or
Does anyone have any questions for their project at all?
Yeah, I was just curious how are you gonna approach the multi-language or different locales?
Well, from what we've just talked from our other professors and our other TAs, there's some languages and there's some other I forget, the word's not coming to me, but there's ways that we're able to do it and make it to switch languages. So we know that that's out there. We're gonna find it, we're gonna learn it, and we're gonna implement it.
yes. Also, I would like to thank you, the Jonathan, David, and Paolo. We couldn't do it without you guys. So like, yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
We're very happy and thank you so much. Also, everyone from Geek Academy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's three of us on this project. So, but me and Kevin, we like, I don't want to say mostly finished, but yeah.
We got an MVP version. We just
we
really
do,
wanted
yeah.
to get a
We
wanted to
ended
get an
up
online
to some
shop.
version. Yeah.
Absolutely. We wanted to get an online shop working, so the next versions to come in, it should be a lot less strenuous than this.
Alejandro did
Hopefully,
the amazing job for us as well for backend.
Yeah,
He helped us a lot.
yeah.
So
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go
Thank
ahead
you.
and start with the final project, which is of the evening, which is Jecto.pro, and that's gonna be with Lucas, Joe, and Eddie. And I'll go ahead and let you guys take the floor.
What's up, guys? Is Eddie here?
Hey guys, how it going? Hello,
Okay.
Joe here.
So our project is called Jecto Pro. Here, I'm gonna write in the chat because it took a while for me to get it. It's Projecto because it's our project, and that's the domain website. It's just not live right now. So basically, this is like it's similar to Tuesday.com, where it's like a project management tool, and it's tailored to mostly like small businesses and medium-sized businesses that are trying to improve productivity. And the idea behind the app was, like, have you ever downloaded a to-do or task app and wrote down like a big to-do list of things you wanted to do and just never looked at it again? And I've done it before. Like, for my job, we're always all over the place. I work for a company that sells like vapes, but now we're selling medical equipment and masks. So my boss likes to jump all over the places and like come up to me and like fill me with ideas and tasks, and I try to write them all down, and sometimes I don't even look at my what I wrote down. So we integrated like a task list that kind of integrates with Twilio. So whenever you get a task assigned, you get a text message notification because your phone is something you always have with you. And Eddie, you want to show the project?
Sure, absolutely. I'm already sharing my screen. Do you guys can see? Can you guys see it? Yeah. Alrighty. So we actually wanted to start with our landing page that Joao has created. Joao, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead and describe the landing page and the sign up.
So basically the landing page is just a photo representation of what the dashboard looks like on the inside. And then we have an option, we have a short description. A mobile app is a computer program designed to run on a mobile device such as a phone, tablet, or watch. So our whole pitch is basically an app that revolves around using your phone integrated with the web application. So if you're not available at home and you want to manage your tasks, we want to be able to, in the future, make it interactive with your phone to update to the website without having to be at home. So
right, so we're in the sign up page.
You can go ahead and sign
in the sign up page, we have everything working. You can't just put any random information. Our phone number, once you sign up with your phone number, it sends its text automatically welcoming you to the application. We use Twilio, which is a third-party API. Basically what it does is they have a phone number that you can use, and you can pull it and use their functions to call or send text messages to people. So here is the text message. I don't know if you guys can see it.
That's for the account sign up.
That's just a welcome message, and then your first name. And then later on, we're gonna add more features to that.
So once the user is created, we'll be able to log in to his account. We have a little redirect page over here. Once you're logged in, you are going to our main dashboard. So we have a little icon over here, the profile menu, the notifications icon, and the task app. So Lucas, do you want to talk about the task app?
So the dashboard, the first part of the dashboard is where you see all the tasks and who the task is assigned to, when the task was added, and when the due date is due. So when you click on add a new task, you can add a task and assign it to any user you want and select the due date. And the user will get like a text message notification that they were assigned a task and that they have to complete a task. And then like we're going to make a feature so you can set it to remind you again a few days after the due date or remind you every day, as well as people able to text the number back saying complete, and it'll automatically complete the task on the dashboard.
Yeah, when he added the task, I don't know if people can see my screen, but it shows the due date as well as the name of the task. So as in the future, we're going to make it more interactive, where you can text back, like say it's a simple task that you got reminded, like take out the trash. You take out the trash, you could just text back done, and then automatically it updates it on the website for you.
So this notifications icon shows us the amount of the tasks that are currently uncompleted. If we add some more tasks over here, let's say Luca's gonna do it by today. Luca's gonna receive the notification, and we're gonna see that the numbers changed over here and over here as well. Then for the completed task as well, If you're gonna complete all of them, you'll see that there is a number of the tasks that were completed today, right? So also we have created a little there's a team members page. So over here you'll be able to see the name, the company ID, email address, and the phone number of all the team members. Also over here there's going to be the profile image, and those are the team members that you have in your team. If you click on the button, you'll be able to see the task that the team member has with the ID of the task, the actual task, the date created, and the date due. And those are all just simple models. Also, we have created a little calendar page. For now, it's just a fully functional calendar that you are able to see what date is today. However, for the future, we would like to implement the functionality that on every day you'll be able to see like a mark or like a dot, and you'll be able to open the model for that day, and we'll be able to see the tasks that were created on that day. Also, the tasks that were completed on that day. So you'll be able to see some statistics over here. Also, we have a little nice chat. Lucas, do you want to connect to the chat so we can show how it works?
I gotta start up the project.
Okay, so...
Are you on it, Joe?
Yeah, I also have the profile page over here. So you can see... Yeah. I'm sorry?
Oh. Yep,
Absolutely.
yep.
Yeah, it's absolutely online. It's deployed to Z8. If you go to the login page over here.
Yeah, good point. I can log in using that.
Chat. Oh, sorry.
I'm logged in if you want to preview the chat.
Just a sec, please. Gonna send the link so everybody can test it as well. Play with it for a little bit. You can sign up and do whatever you guys want. So let me log in as well, and we can test the chat.
DDoS. You're funny.
There you go. Fully online. Let's go to the chat. Alrighty, so the room called project, and he says, hey. I'm gonna say, hey, Lucas. See, the chat is working. We have a copy button over here, and you can paste the test. Oh, we have Jonathan online. Nice. Alrighty. The chat is working. We can see the users who are online over here. You can quit the chat by clicking this button. It will take you out, so you'll have to specify your name and the room that you want to be joining. So I can join back and see all the history of the messages that we had before. I was showing you the profile page over here. We have the little profile about the user who is actually logged in. There's going to be the user information, some tests about it, and some graph that will display the to-dos that user has completed throughout the last 7 days, and maybe some in the gray color you'll be able to see the to-dos that were completed maybe last month or last week. So that's going to serve as a little motivation for you to be able to complete more tasks. That's probably all about it. Do you guys have any questions regarding the app, regarding how it works?
Later on we're going to make the profile picture circular instead of like a square, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything, right?
That's basically all about the application, how it works. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in. I'm going to be happy to answer.
Not all at once.
Crowded. A lot of questions. Nice.
if nobody has any questions, you guys did such a great job. That's probably why. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. Before I end this, I just want to say thank you again to all of the students that are graduating this evening. You guys should be really, really proud of yourselves. You've done a really, really great job on all the projects I've seen. Pretty amazing that some of you had to accomplish those in like 2 weeks. I also want to thank again the guest speakers that we had tonight, Guensy, JD, and Jesus. Thank you for your support. I'm not 100% sure if they're still with us, but if they are, thank you. And again, I want to thank all the teachers and the staff at 4Geeks Academy for being so great to our students. And if anyone has any questions or would like some contact information, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat right now. But now it's time to celebrate. So go get yourselves a drink or something. Have a nice relaxing night. Spend time with your fam. Maybe cook a nice dinner. Something like that.
So before we do that, I wanted to say something really quick.
Of course. Oh, I'm so sorry. The teachers did want to say some closing remarks. I forgot. I'm so sorry, Jonathan. And
That's perfectly okay. Don't worry about it. I know I'm not important to you. It's fine. I'll just.
No, no, you are. You are. You are.
No, but
yeah, Colby was really good.
I can't follow up Colby. I'm sorry. He's just too good. Well, what I wanted to say was it was a pleasure working with you guys and watching everyone develop over this time. You know, really, every semester we get to watch students cultivate from people who have little to no experience to, you know, full-fledged developers that are ready to go out into the market, get jobs, and really deliver awesome projects continuously. I'm glad to see the skills you picked up, some of them from class, some of them because you challenged yourself outside of class to look things up, to research, to grow. And it was really fun working with you guys on the projects and you know, imparting whatever little knowledge we have to grow you guys and cultivate this this thirst, let's say, that you guys came up with through the class. So great work, and thank you very much for all the hard work and dedication you put into the class. You saw it through, and now go get those jobs.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lucas.
Also, it's very important. It's very important. One last thing, that you guys do the one-on-one preps with me and Alejandro, because those are the things that are going to help you guys get a job. I'm still missing some resumes, so it'd be very important for you guys to go ahead and send those over so we can go ahead and get you guys a job.
I just wanted to say, Jonathan, if he would have never told me he was a student in 4Geeks, I probably would have never knew. You know, I probably would have just thought he was an actual teacher, because he was actually very informative, and his memory about coding is pretty good. Doesn't forget anything. No syntax errors. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do for the students.
Yeah, thank you everyone from 4Geeks, and Jonathan special, because without him, I don't know, he like reset my mind. So, you know, right now I'm thinking like a quarter, so I can code and everything. So thank you, Jonathan. That's all because of you.
That was a great time. Thank you guys. Jonathan, Bridget, Alejandro, Paolo, David, everybody did a great job, guys. You have inputted a lot of power and time into our bodies, so now we can implement the powers that we have into the projects, the future projects, work on them and perfect them.
I'm gonna write it.
Yeah. Yes, please.
A couple of things before we leave. We're dealing with a super crazy situation, but beyond that, whenever we're back on whatever the new world will be, we'll be bringing you guys to the office. We're gonna have an appropriate celebration, an appropriate toast. There's a lot to be done yet, but we count on you, and you can count on us forever. Super proud of you. I don't want to extend that too much because everybody's saying the same, but it's almost a miracle what you have done. It's almost impossible. Switching, adapting, being capable of moving forward. So congrats to all of you.
Hey guys, I would like to tell
Thank
you, for the last 4 months, I've been doing a lot of interviews, and I know that is the next step that you're gonna be very concerned about it. And I can tell you that I did more than 20 interviews, and most of them, technical interview is always, they're gonna always ask for some JavaScript replets. So I would suggest you, and I would advise to do your code and just get some 3 hours a day just to do JavaScript, just replets, because in this technical interview, they're gonna just give you replets, and if you do not remember, or if you did a couple of weeks before and you don't remember the process, you may fail. Keep your skills sharp in JavaScript replets and functions, loops, objects, classes, and this is the best, I think, advice I can give to you towards interview process. And I'm really proud of you guys, everybody, João, Lucas, and from the full time also. You guys are amazing.
To segue off what Joao just said, in the JavaScript lesson that we have inside the Breathe Code platform, you guys have a mastering JavaScript replit section. So if you haven't seen it already, it's like 160 or something different exercises, and it's constantly growing. They really have done an amazing job of cultivating those exercises. And, you know, I know just like the platform is evolving, all the exercises are evolving. You have a lot of opportunity there, so make use of it.
I just want to say again, you guys did an awesome time, and good job again. Don't forget to send those resumes. I'll keep hounding you guys for those, so don't worry. But apart from that, great job, and have a good evening, everyone. Celebrate. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.